Kia ora everyone, it's Jackie here from Tekotiri. Hope you are all well. A couple of weeks ago I posted a poll on our Instagram asking if anyone was interested in understanding our YouTube process. I received quite a few responses, so for this video I thought I would take the time to sit down and run through that process with you. Little disclaimer, I am not a professional by any means in regards to this. It's not something I do every day. However, I have picked up a few tips and tricks along the way, and if I'm able to share that with you all for you to use in your own business, then I'm all for it. So let's get into it. So the first section of this process is really the preparation of the video. I will be using our Drawing Māori pattern series as an example, as I've got a live video to edit and show you guys. For this video, the only real preparation is understanding obviously what the video is going to be about. In this instance, my darling will do some research on the next pattern that he wants to bring out. Once he has a really good understanding of the layout, he will then go into more of the detail, which is then writing a script. Now the script is very basic, it's nothing crazy. He literally just sits down and writes an intro, a body and a conclusion on his drawing pad. So you don't have to break your head over it, really just writing down what is the value that you're wanting to give to your audience, what are the key things that you want to portray or go through, and it's really just a mechanism to give you some pointers for you to then go and record your video. Unlike me, for this video, I wrote absolutely no script and I've recorded this section about 20 times. Another example in regards to preparation is if we were doing a Modako video, which you often see on our channel. The only addition to this would be the location of the video. As this is done outside, we do have to take lighting into account, making sure that it's bright enough for you to see Caleb. Yeah, that's really the only other thing that we have to consider at this stage when preparing for a YouTube video. The second part I'm going to talk about is the equipment that we use. It's really important, e te whānau, that you just literally use what you have. If you don't have a camera, then use your iPhone. If you don't have any of these microphones, then just use the built-in mic. The most important thing is that you're doing it, building up eventually to be able to get things that are really going to make you more efficient or to produce, you know, better quality videos. But I wouldn't say wait until you have all of these things, because there's always better equipment out there. Just slowly build up your resources along the way, but definitely don't let this stop you from recording and using what you have. So the main equipment that we use is what I'm recording this on. So this is a Canon G7X Mark II. It's a simple point and shoot camera. I will chuck a link below with some information on the camera if that's interesting for you guys, and I'll pop a little pic here. I think a beginner camera, I'm assuming. It's really easy to use. I just flick it onto the recording mode and have it on autofocus. What's really cool too is that the screen does flip up. So when you are recording like this, you can actually see yourself. If I'm a little bit running out of breath, it's because I'm unfit and I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant, so I'm just trying to breathe over here. As I was saying, there is a little screen up top there, so you can, as I'm doing now, looking at myself, which makes it really handy when you're just chatting to the camera like this. The other piece of equipment that we use often are these Rode microphones that you can see here. So this enables you to get a bit more of a crisp sound when you are recording. I don't really know any of the other functionalities, just find that it produces better sound, so makes it easy when editing. Another really good thing to have is a light. I'll put a little pic here of the light that we have, but basically just something that is producing more light. So as you can probably tell, the sun is starting to go down here in Auckland in New Zealand. It's 5 o'clock currently, and there will be starting to be more shadows from the natural light. So having an artificial external light just helps so that you can see me clearly, and really a good tool for during Māori art videos. As you can see, it just brightens up the entire area, makes it easier for the content to be seen on screen. For the videos, sometimes I will also use my iPhone. I've got the newest iPhone, or maybe the second newest iPhone. I can't actually remember what the number is now. This records on 4K, and I do use an external tripod for those Māori pattern videos to have the phone, is it top down or like bird's eye level to the drawing? Again, utilizing what you have. I do find that with this camera, it sometimes is difficult when doing those sorts of shots with the focus and everything. I don't know, it just makes it quite hard. Just quickly going back to the camera, because my camera just went flat, is always having an additional charge battery pack always helps. I think this was $90 or something like that, so pretty affordable, and having multiple memory cards, because you will be surprised how fast your memory does get full. Little additions that we haven't quite utilized yet, but we do have, is having a drone. We haven't really properly recorded on it or utilized it for our YouTube videos, so that is something that we will be using, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. The third stage, which is bringing that all together. So once you have your idea of your video, the structure, the script, the recording of the video using all of the equipment that I mentioned, the last piece of the process is the editing and how you bring that all together by uploading that to YouTube. So I am going to switch to a different method of recording now. I guess this is another thing that I'll talk about, where I will actually show you guys on my screen what I'm doing, walking you through that process, and yeah. First time doing this, so hopefully it all makes sense, but I will catch you in a second somewhere over here. Kia ora te whānau, we are back. Hopefully this is working. This is a platform called Loom, which is a software that allows me to screen record whilst also utilizing my MacBook camera. I really wanted to download this because I am a very visual person, and I thought that for some people it might be easier for me to show you actually what I'm doing as opposed to talking through it for this next part of the process. I will admit that this is not the first video I've taken. I don't think my Mac has enough juice to be able to run Loom and the audio from the video. So I'm just going to talk about what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to time lapse it with a little bit of music so that my computer doesn't whack out on me. What you're actually seeing on screen is the video editing software that I use called Final Cut Pro. Now this is a sort of top of the line editing software. I believe it was around 500 New Zealand dollars. So don't let that be a barrier for you. You don't have to use this program at all. I'm probably only utilizing 1% of its capability because again, I don't really know what I'm doing. There are so many free editing platforms out there. Obviously, you've got iMovie if you work on a MacBook Pro. CapCut also has a really good desktop app. I often use the mobile app for when I'm editing on my phone, and I believe those are free. So you don't have to utilize this video. And I'm not going to talk a lot about Final Cut Pro. There's so many helpful videos out there. Just Google YouTube beginner tutorials for using Final Cut Pro. Let's get into it. So basically what I have done, as I mentioned, I recorded this on my iPhone and then I've imported those videos into Final Cut Pro. So you can see the video here as well as the audio down the bottom. Essentially all I'm doing is trimming out the video so that it flows really nicely. One thing that me and my darling are working on are using filler words. Like is one that I use often, and is one that my darling uses often. So I like to, again, crop out or trim all of those filler words so that it's just a nice flowy video, and it does remove a lot of that unwanted space, if that makes sense. And then what I also do is add in some background music, which I'll show you guys at the end. So that just sits here, and our logo. So when we have our outro and it's got the subscribe to our channel and watch another video at the end of the video, that's basically what plays at the end. That's really all I'm utilizing this for. I will pause the audio and I'll time lapse just so you guys can see some of the process and how I actually edit. Let's get into it. In this section, I am removing all on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. That has to be edited. And last but not least, te whānau, we are ready to export. Go back to that original video to export the master file. These are all the settings that I use. Once it's all done, you click next and you are ready to go. If you have made it to the end of this video, e te whānau, you are a real trooper. We have one last step in the process, which is of course uploading our exported video to YouTube, going through a little bit around the thumbnail, which I'll show you in a second, and the description. So the video is currently being imported. I've got some text that's pre-saved here. It does take a bit of a while depending on how long the video is to upload. What's good about having a video series such as our Drawing Māori Patterns series is that we essentially use all of the previous videos as templates. You do make small changes obviously in regards to the copy. You know, this is a different pattern altogether, so there are little tweaks that we make to that. Don't know what these are called, the timestamps. Those will be amended based on the new video as well. But everything else is pretty much the same. So what I do is I copy all of that text. I paste it in here. I will go through, make those changes. You know, you can use ChatGPT as well, which I often use to rework the wording and make things look a little bit nicer. And then, of course, we have to upload another thumbnail. So in regards to thumbnails, I use the platform called Canva. A lot of you might be familiar with it. It's really simple and easy to use. I've got the Pro version. And again, we have some templates on what we have done previously. So I will just duplicate this page here. It is nice to change up your thumbnails, make small iterations as you go, but I'm really not going to recreate the wheel, and I'm just going to use the same template. And what do you know, I've got a thumbnail image all ready to go. Dragging that in there. I took this image during our recording session, so that's one thing that we always remember to capture is a thumbnail. And then I just change this to the pattern, Roru. I will just make sure that the boxes and things look good. Small little tweaks like that you've obviously got to do, but it's nothing major when you've got a nice template to work from. Easy as that. And then what I do is just download this image, current page. I do compress the file as well because YouTube doesn't like big files for thumbnails. Go back to that video. Once that's downloaded, then I upload it in there. So what I'm going to do now is quickly play with the wording, and then everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Te whānau. If you click next, you've got to go through a couple of settings here. No, this isn't made for kids. We do have the ability to tag products, which is awesome. So we have gone to the next tier within the monetization. So I will do that. I'll add in the end screen. All of this you can find on YouTube how to do. It's pretty simple. So yeah, I might just get this all done, and then I will record an outro for this video, and we will go from there. That is a wrap for this video, te whānau. I hope you found it of value understanding our YouTube process. If you did, please give us a like, a subscribe, and comment any questions or pātai below. You can also see the link to our final product in the description. Other than that, we will catch you in the next one. Ka kite.